Hello, everybody. This is your host, Gabe, and welcome to Casual Coffee Talk, where ideas, insights, stories, and experiences are collected and shared with you. Today's concept explores the idea of value. Now, one man's trash is another man's treasure. But in the context of real estate, one man's shack is another man's castle. Or in that sense, one man's castle or shack could be another man's financial investment. So with me, I have my friend Marty, a real estate property appraiser, to go and answer some questions and explore this idea of value. Welcome to the show, Marty.
Pleasure to be with you, Gabe.
Likewise. So, how long have you been a real estate property appraiser for?
I basically got my real estate property appraisal apprentice license in July 2005.
All right, so it's definitely been a while.
Yes. Yeah, it seems like 13 years. Nice.
First, you just don't know what's happening.
So, as far as being a property appraiser, what is it exactly, and why is it important?
You know what I think worse
Well,
than that?
a property appraiser is basically an appraiser's subjective opinion of value.
Okay.
An appraiser will take a lot of information about the property, do
Yes.
a property inspection, provide comparable properties within the area, and do the mathematics and the analytics in a property appraisal grid on the property appraisal form, where they'll come up within their knowledge of what they're doing, an opinion of value.
An opinion of
Now,
value.
and that's all it is an opinion of value.
Uh-huh.
It is not the exact value. It's not the fair value. It's their opinion. It's one appraiser's opinion.
Yes.
Another appraiser can come in there and be a % off.
So it's not like an exact science
It is
of
not
any
an
sort.
exact science.
You know, or like exact math, like 2 + 2 = 4.
It's not an exact science, but a competent, experienced real estate appraiser. You put 2-3 of them together on the same property, you should get something really tight and close.
Got it. So some sort of kind of like in the ballpark, I guess, in value.
Well, I would say closer than the ballpark.
Closer than the
Yes.
ballpark.
Yes.
Got
But,
it.
we're talking about competency and experience because just like anything else in any other occupation,
Yes.
people who are great, and there are
Yes.
people who are mediocre, and people who are poor. And I've actually, as a property appraiser with experience, did some appraisal reviews over the years.
Okay.
Where the bank will say, we don't really see what's going on here.
Yes.
And they'll send another appraiser who's more experienced, give there, say, hey, what's going on there? And I've seen some doozies in my life.
So kind of like double check in work.
Yes, and that's done not quite a bit, but the mortgage institution, the bank,
Yes.
the lender, the whatever, they have the people, underwriters who go through appraisals to make sure that they're getting the right value for the loan if somebody
Yes.
does qualify.
That's true.
So they'll go through their due diligence, really look in the appraisal. If there's something off, they'll go to the appraiser and say,
Yeah.
hey, we have these questions in this. And a lot of
Yeah.
times if the appraiser goes, well, that's my value, without answering any questions, which happens sometimes,
Yes.
then they'll say, well, they'll just take the appraisal and send it to a senior appraisal on their list who does a review.
Okay.
So there is another layer in there if there happens to be a quote-unquote questionable appraisal or something that's fishy in the report.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and again, it falls back to what you said. It falls to an opinion of value.
Yes.
But an educated opinion of value.
hopefully an educated opinion of value.
Hopefully, yeah.
But I'll say that from my own subjective self. A highly qualified, educated opinion of value.
There you go.
Yes.
As far as being a property appraiser, how did you get started, and what about it actually got you interested?
This is my great story.
All right, here we go.
I was in the health club business for 27 years. And my last endeavor in the fitness business, owning my own club in the Sereno Valley area of San Diego.
Oh, very cool.
And I was on a lease, a commercial lease. We were in a strip mall. And toward the end of that lease, I foresaw that because of the time it was around the millennium, the time the economy was changing, the dot-com bubble took some business away. Big chain club, LA Fitness, came within 2 blocks of me.
Wow.
I said, I'm not going to be long for this business.
Yes.
So it was
It's not
my
easy.
plan to sell the business.
Okay.
And I sold the business, and it was like, what's next? Kind of
I
thing.
see.
About a month previous to the end of my lease, which is December 2004, I was at a Thanksgiving dinner up in LA with my brother and some friends.
Okay.
And my brother's girlfriend, basically, after I basically said to everybody in the room, I don't do it the rest of my life. And she was a real estate agent
Okay.
in LA at this time. This is when the boom hit. People
Yes.
were getting refis and everything else and selling houses. She goes, you have a math degree. You can be a real estate appraiser. I go, really? What does that do with it? And then what happened was, didn't ask many questions, but she just said, hey, you'd be great at it, and we need him because I can't get an appraiser out. We have so busy, there's not enough to go around.
Yeah.
So, it lasted another 5 minutes. The conversation was mostly we wanted to eat and go on with our Thanksgiving
Oh, of course,
dinner.
of course.
So I went back
Family
home,
time.
and I kind of looked up real estate appraiser on the internet, and I remembered, having to refinance my house a couple of times. I said, yeah. The guy came in, he walked around the house, had a stick, measured the property, looked around a few times, wore shorts, and I said, hey, I wore shorts for 25 years in the fitness business. I like that.
Oh, that's the most important part.
That was very cool. So I said, that might do it. So what happened that night, right before I went to sleep, and this is something that I've done in my whole life, but was visualize. I visualized myself walking around the house, measuring a house, taking pictures.
Okay.
And I saw myself in somebody's house doing this.
Okay.
And another story for another day, my visualizations always come true.
Oh,
Always come true.
power of the mind.
Power of the mind. So I saw it. Next day, called up in the school to take my courses to be an appraiser.
Yes.
And then the rest was history.
Wow, very cool. Very cool. So which in essence it started with someone already in the industry. You just talked for a little bit and then you decided to just give it a shot, right?
Yeah. So what you had to do back then, with different rules now, you had to take a certain amount of hours of courses, basically online courses in real estate appraisal. Then what you had to do is take the state test. And the first step for a real estate appraiser is taking a trainee's license, an apprentice. Go in, you take your course, you take a test, you pass, you get your license.
Okay, wow.
That enables you to be able to train with another real estate appraiser who has a real license.
A real
Yes,
license.
who's gotten through their trainees kind of thing. And this is another great part of my story was I got my trainee's license.
Yes.
And at that time, the internet just started, and I wasn't that savvy, but emailing and things to that. So I wrote about 150 to 200 letters.
Woo!
I looked in the phone book
Wow.
to real estate appraisers and real
Yes.
estate appraisal companies in San Diego County.
Yes.
And sent my story and said, hey, I need to get my 2,000 hours. You had to have 2,000 hours as a trainee
Oh my goodness.
with a real estate appraiser. Signed off, and then you can get your regular license.
Wow.
So I sent that it was approximately 200 letters.
Okay.
I got 2 letters back out of 200. One saying,
Boy.
hey, you sound great. I would hire you as a trainee, but I'm retired.
Wow.
And one guy said, you know what, I have a trainee, but good luck.
Have you ever been to Birmingham?
So I said, well, what am I going to do? About 2-3 weeks later, after I was kind of like a little semi-depressed, what am I going to do next? I got a call from the person who bought my health club.
Yeah.
Now, going back to that, what I did with my health club, I had 4 squash courts in my health club. And it was the first squash club, and now it is still the only squash club in San Diego history.
Boy.
So what happened was the fitness club was dying when I sold it.
Yeah.
Somebody bought my courts.
You know, you're
Just
right.
turned it
You're
into a
right.
squash club only, and that kept that going. But the owner of the club called me after that disappointment with my letters and said, hey, the door on court 4 is not closing. You were the only one who seemed to be able to fix it in the 13 years you owned the club. Would you mind coming down?
Okay.
I said, yeah, I'm not doing anything. I'm
Yeah.
coming down. So I came down about 10 o'clock on a Wednesday. back in like June of
She don't even
2005.
fucking know
Yeah.
what it was.
And at that time, there was only one court.
They know what it was.
Everyone else was working. One court was on,
Gloria's car.
Yeah.
and the place was empty.
Uh-huh.
And there were two guys, Kirk and Glenn, who
Okay.
had been members of my club for 10 years. So they saw me walk by and they go, hey. And I said, hey, I'll talk to you after our game. And I
All
said,
right.
I'm going to fix the court down in court 4. I'll meet you back here. Fixed the court. Went down to court 1. Kirk and Glenn came out of the court. Hey, what are you doing with yourself?
Yeah.
So I went through that 10-minute story of what I just told you about trying to become a real estate appraiser.
Yeah.
And toward my end of the story, they started laughing and looking at each other.
Uh-oh.
I go, what the hell are you laughing at? You happy that I'm having trouble? And they go, no, we're real estate appraisers.
Oh.
I knew them for 10 years. I had no idea what they did.
So right under your nose.
So the
Wow.
chance meeting of being called at that minute
Yeah.
to be down there at that time with them there
Yes.
is the reason why I'm a real estate appraiser. Because I probably might have given up.
Wow.
So they came out and they said, hey, we're booming there. We'll take you on. It
Last minute. Wow. That
was
is
amazing. It
crazy.
was an amazing story.
What a coincidence. It almost makes you think there was a little bit of fate played
Well,
into
I
that.
talked about the
Definitely.
visualization, so it always worked, and amazing. So they said, come to our office in the University University Avenue part of not University, Genesee Avenue, Governor Drive part.
Okay.
University City,
Yes.
part of San Diego. Got an office there. Started in July of 2005. Became a trainee. Put my
Yes.
hours in. Got my license. Along the way, long story, but got my own company and bingo.
There you go.
There I go.
Wow. That is really cool. That's a really,
neat
really
story.
neat story.
Neat story.
Definitely. That is so crazy. That's like the right people came at the exact time.
If you think you're blessed in life, then there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's you're the perfect example
Yes.
of that.
Plus,
That is so cool.
Plus, I didn't say I would have given up if I couldn't get somebody to get me. I'm sure I would have persisted until somebody took me on.
Yeah.
But who knew? But that was amazing break.
That is. But after hearing that, if someone actually did want, have an interest in going into real estate appraising and they wanted to be one, just from your story, it seems like they have to take classes, then they have to take a test, and then train under somebody for the real license, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So
Yes.
those would basically be the steps to getting started.
That was the steps.
Traditional.
Well, back then, anybody, no education, you can take your classes and do it.
Okay.
Now in the state of California, they went from having everybody had to have at least a 2-year degree.
Uh-huh.
Then it went to a 4-year degree.
Wow.
An appraiser had to have a 4-year degree.
Uh-huh.
Which I always question and go, why? There's no real estate appraisal 4-year degrees.
Yeah.
But for some reason, because of maybe quality of work, they figured an appraiser with a 4-year degree would be more competent than somebody who just started.
Yes.
I think the rules have maybe went down now, but I still think you need some sort of degree, even to take the test.
Wow.
Which again I've questioned, because if you have a good mind and you're competent and
Yes.
you get trained well, I don't see where a 4-year degree can help. I see a 4-year degree. You can take a 4-year degree in history. Oh, you can become a real estate appraiser.
There's no connection
There's
there.
no connection. So I wrote a couple of letters to the state of California over the
Yeah.
years saying, well, what are you doing?
Yeah, I would wonder too.
Kind of thing. So right now it may be a little bit tougher
Uh-huh.
for someone who doesn't have a degree, I think, or maybe impossible to become a real estate
wow.
appraiser.
So the rules.
So somebody would
tightened up.
have to go on the website of the Office of Real Estate Appraisers for the state of California, or any state they're in,
Yeah.
see what the qualifications are.
Okay, but it can differ between state to state.
Yes.
Wow. I see. Okay. Well, it seems like the rules have tightened up though.
They have tightened up, but again, to me, nonsensical. I have no. If somebody takes their real estate appraisal courses online,
Yeah.
trains with somebody well, the profession is not rocket science. You don't have to be a brainiac.
Uh-huh.
You have to be competent, know what you're doing as far as the rules of real estate appraising.
Yes.
get trained very well, go through highs and lows, and get corrected in your trainee stage.
Yes.
Do a lot of work, do extra research on your own, ask questions, other appraisers.
Yeah.
And you can be outstanding without a college degree.
That's stupid.
My opinion. But I'm not the state or the states.
No, I hear you. But I guess, to that extent, in your opinion, what would you say are the qualities or crucial qualities that you would actually need, like in a nutshell, like the top 3 qualities to be an appraiser?
I would say attention to detail as far as doing the home inspection.
Okay.
Which is important because the home inspection is the major part of the real estate appraisal process.
Oh yeah, that is the process.
that is the process. But also the process is because there are 3 ways of attaining value, an opinion of value on a home.
Really?
The major way is the sales comparison.
Okay.
Taking
Sales
comparable properties in the area and comparing different qualities on the grid compared to the property, and then basically reconciling all the property things and then coming to your value. So attention to detail, a good knowledge of what each adjustment, what each area on the grid means,
Yes.
what an upgrade is, how to determine what lot size is, which is the size of the lot of the house.
Yes.
How to measure the living area of the house.
Yes.
You have to know how to, whether you use a roller, and if you're an old timer, use a tape measure along the perimeter of the house,
Oh, yeah.
or use a laser. How to be accurate in that. And you don't have to be a mathematical genius, because once you get the measurements on the appraisal software, it's done for you. You get the gross living area. But if your appraisal stick slips on a rock, and you go 2 feet less, and that can ruin it. So, make sure you're looking down and make sure that wheel is still rolling.
Yes.
I felt a little rock there. It happened to me a lot. And says, I don't know if my thing's accurate, so I went back and did it again. So that little bit of thing with your measuring a house. So it's attention to detail. Again, not rocket science, but knowing what's going on around you.
Being very aware.
Yes.
Got it.
And again, with attention to detail, I would say, I don't know if IQ would come in, but I think you'd have to have a little bit of an IQ.
You gotta have some common sense.
Again, I'm not gonna say you have to have over this IQ or that IQ, or whatever else. But basically brass tacks, just know what you're doing, kind of thing. And that comes with your person who trains you, a lot of experience that you're doing, going through stuff, going over it. And actually, even when you get your regular license, sending in reports to the lender.
Yeah.
And if you're getting back too many questions, then you got to, what am I doing here? Then you got to work harder. That kind of things to get better. Your next question might be, well, how do you know you're good?
Hey, definitely. Yeah. How do you know that you're good? Or you're accurate?
Well, how do you know you're good when if you're working for a lender and you're getting more business?
Yes.
And the underwriter's not calling you every day, questioning every appraisal, kind of thing.
Yeah, they're like, you can see that value.
It's that kind of thing. And you're referred to other lenders, other appraisal management companies. You say, hey, we heard you're good. You want to be on our panel, kind of thing. So I think that might basically tell you. Or actually, which helps you, another point of what it takes to be a good appraiser is confidence. Confidence in yourself. Say, hey, I'm good. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I really did this well. People say it, but I feel it. I feel like I know what I'm doing, because when I sit down to do an appraisal report, I'm confident.
This is the number. I know it's the number.
And for a third thing. Loving what you're doing.
Very important.
From the first inspection I did, till today, I have loved every minute of what I was doing.
That is
as
fantastic.
far as the process goes. Over the years, because of the bubble in 2008, 2009, and they took away the right of the lender just to hire their own appraisers, and you had to go through a middleman, and it was more of a check and balance kind of thing. when the appraisal management companies came into being, and those were the middle people.
Okay.
Lenders would order an appraisal through an appraisal management companies.
Yeah.
You'd be in a panel, and then you'd rotate and just give the orders on a rotation basis.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Yes.
But you'd get incessant questions because they had to earn their money. Oh, when's the appraisal coming in? You said today. Is it going to come in today? And if you're good and your appraisal is always on time, you can see yourself. I was yapping at somebody. Hey, I'm always on time. Leave me alone. That was probably, and I did it in a fun way. I never really got upset, but it's like, give me a break. I'm good. So the confidence that I had in myself,
Yes.
and loving what I was doing, basically 99% of the time,
Yes.
aside from those little, phone call instances you got tired
Little
of,
nuisances.
makes you a good appraiser. Because even when you're tired, even when you got a lot of work, you said, hey, I got to do the best job I possibly can. Because I want to keep my standards high.
Yes.
And I want the people I work for to know that, hey, this guy's right on all the time.
Solid.
And if you don't like what you're doing, you can't do that. It's impossible.
That's very true. Exactly. That's the same thing with any other field, I would say. You gotta love what you do in order to last.
Any profession, it's the same thing.
Yes.
Knowledge, confidence, attention to detail.
Yeah.
Again, other professions, you need more of a material education in the field.
Yes.
And like I said, a rocket scientist will need a little bit more education than a real estate appraiser. But again, if you're a rocket scientist, you have to know 100% of that down.
Oh yeah.
It may be a bigger universe of information,
Yes.
but still you got to get 100% of it down to be good. Same thing a real estate appraiser. You might be 20% of what the rocket science needs to be successful.
Yeah.
But you better get the 100% of that 20% kind of thing. So
That's the expectation.
So it's just like anything else in life.
I see.
And the thing is, like, hey, I went from the health club business to the real estate business. I had the same goals and the same focus on my health club business and the fitness business. I like what I did, attention to detail, knew what I was doing. People liked me. People came to my club, got referrals. Look, same thing.
There you go.
There you go.
That's the secret formula, you guys.
That's it. And I got an MBA right there. I don't need to go to Harvard.
So, as far as typical work days, what did a typical work day look like as an appraiser?
At the height of everything, when I was booming, I'd get up, and this is when, before I had my own, I worked from home when I still had an office. I'd get up at 4 a.m., go to the gym,
Yes.
do my workout, get to the office about 5:45.
Okay.
Start working. And the great thing is I had about 3.5 hours before anybody woke up. So nobody called me, and it was great. So I just pumped it out.
You said 5:45. We're talking
AM.
about in the morning.
Monday through Friday. I was there at
Wow.
5:45 a.m. And what I did, since my office was, I had to go from freeway, a few exits back home. I always timed it that I would, since I started early, around 3 o'clock, right, 5 to 3 before everyone started getting out of work. I was on the freeway going back home.
Wow.
Missed the traffic. Because as a real estate appraiser, that's all I did was drive. And sometimes in traffic. So when I drove to and from work, got there early, there was no traffic.
Yes.
Left at 5 to 3. So that was my day. And then since I was booming, weekends would be the same thing. Get up a little later, do my workout. Depending on my family schedule, I'd work. If I had nothing to do, or if I was really under the gun as far as deadlines, my wife would take the kids or my grandkids and say, I'm working all day, see ya. So during the good times, 7 days a week.
Wow.
But during a regular period of time, 5 day a week will do it. And if you're smart and really know how to play the system about driving, I had a secret.
Oh yeah?
It's not a secret, but I thought it was my idea. Because nobody else, even people who trained me, I used to tell them about what I did, and they never did it.
Really?
Okay, let's say you get an order on a Monday to go to El Cajon.
All right.
Okay, East Coast.
That's like about 15,
It's a
20
long
miles.
drive from, it's
Yeah.
So what most appraisers do if they have nothing else, they'll call and say, hey, when are you available? Tomorrow, I'll come down.
Yeah.
Drive to El Cajon, do your inspection, drive back, do your report. Then, as you're doing your report on Tuesday, you get another order online.
Yeah.
Hey, El Cajon.
Okay.
Oh yeah, okay.
All right.
Drive back the next day. Take another hour round trip, taking traffic.
Yeah.
Come back.
I go knock on the door before
I started doing that because the guys who trained me did that. I go, this isn't efficient. I'm getting these orders.
Back and forth, right?
I'm not only El Cajon. I'm getting in Spring Valley, La Mesa, which is down there by Highway 8.
Yeah, they're all in the same area.
So I said, no, this ain't gonna work. So what I did, I explained to the lenders and the appraisal management companies that I was working with. I said, look, this is how I work.
Hurry back.
I'm going to get an order. I'm not going to get you an inspection date right away. I'm going to wait a couple of days or 3. See how many orders I have in each quadrant of the county.
Yeah.
If I have 4 or 5 in the East County, Southeast County,
Yes.
I'm going to wait till I get those orders. I'm going to call the people and say, look, I'm in your quadrant of the county on this day. Now, previously, I would call, oh, when are you available?
Yeah.
Well, I work all week and I can only do it on Saturday. Okay, I did it on Saturday. Now it's like, you know what? I'm in La Mesa, Spring Valley, 2 in El Cajon, and even 1 in Alpine on Thursday. So far I have 2 appointments. Can you fit me in? Oh, well, I work there. I really got.
Yeah.
So look, this is what I did. I said, if I was SDG&E or the cable company,
Yes.
you'd have to be there 4 hours in the morning of the day, basically during the week,
Yeah.
and wait for them. I'm telling you the
yeah.
exact time. You tell your boss, I want to take an early lunch or a late lunch,
Wow.
and you go back to work. Or take a half day off, because you know what? The SDG&E will hook your electricity up. The cable people hook your cable up.
Yes.
My appraisal might get you the loan that saves you thousands of dollars.
How do you say no to that?
What's the point? So what happened was, then I did that, so I would go to drive one day
Yes.
and do 6 many jobs as I possibly can in one day. I've done 10 in one day.
Wow.
Inspections, but I didn't have to drive anywhere. I drove to one part, just went bop, 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 bop,
Yeah, just knocking them
Whereas
And you don't want
other appraisers would take those 10 things and do 10 days.
Jeez.
So I was rock and rolling, and that's why I was working 7 days a week.
Yeah.
I was getting all the reports in time, because my next secret was, as I was waiting for the orders to come in, I'd be writing the reports, setting up as much as I can.
Yes.
So I would do 3/4 of the work even before I did the inspection, because a lot of the stuff is all putting, pictures of maps and things like that,
Yes.
and adding things that you don't need to do in an inspection. Just information about county records, tax records, and things like
Yes.
that. And I even put my comps on the grid. I didn't fill them in. I couldn't do the adjustments on the grid. But I did it all. I did the inspection, and what did I have to do? Put the pictures in, do the sketch, do the grid.
Yes.
So it would basically it would take me a half hour to do the report. Whereas people, take 2 hours to set, who don't start the report, set it up, and people would go, "How did you do the report that day? You just did the inspection that day." I said, "I'm great." I couldn't believe it.
That is
Couldn't
fantastic.
believe it. Because sometimes if I did 3 in an area,
Yeah.
I'd come back home at noon. I'd get 2 reports done the same day.
Wow.
People didn't have no idea how I did it. So that was a secret.
Wow. See, now we know. Now the secret has been revealed.
Yes, I could write a book.
No, but that is great. It sounds like it's, to that extent, it comes down to organization and just really time efficiency.
You know what? Creativity, figuring out, hey, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm driving my life away I don't want to drive every day. I don't want to drive every day.
I think the only
Hey, anybody, you have to, these people who commute from Riverside County to San Diego have to drive an hour and a half every day.
That is
How do you
crazy.
do that?
I
Like
don't
the same
even
thing
know.
for an appraiser. I'm driving all around the county. I don't want to go to El Cajon every day or East County every day.
Yeah, those miles add up.
I'll go there on Monday,
Yes.
write my reports for a couple of days. On Thursday, I'm going
Yeah.
to North County and doing like seven inspections in that day.
Wow.
So I'm basically driving 2 days where other people would be driving for 2 weeks.
Dang. That is fantastic.
And I
And
did,
really
I did,
smart.
I did well and smart. And it was smart.
That was very, very smart.
Plus, I had the gumption and the cojones to basically tell people when they had to have their appointment, not when are you available.
Oh, that's gutsy.
Well, I had a reputation.
That too.
And the lender kind of knew who was doing their, even though there was a middleman,
Yeah.
they kind of knew who might be coming out and said, look, if Marty calls you, be there.
Do what he says.
So it was neat, and I did a good job. Everyone was happy, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's how the business went. That is great. That is great. Going back to what you mentioned earlier about opinion of value, in the context of a real estate sale, I know that homeowners typically perceive their homes in the best possible light. So, for example, some things that I've seen when I was doing real estate, you might have an older home, an older homeowner, and when you're looking through the property, they've never had the roof done, but just because the roof hasn't caved in yet, they still think it's fine. Or they might have the same original fixtures, but nothing has, I guess, quote unquote, broken just yet. So they think everything is perfect and pristine. So as far as determining the property value as an appraiser, how do you actually do that? Like, where do you come up with, I guess, your opinion of value?
Well, in the property appraisal process, what you're doing is basically looking at the information of a house.
Yes.
How many square feet, the gross living area it has.
Okay.
How many bedrooms. How many bathrooms.
Yeah.
Does it have a view?
Uh-huh.
What kind of upgrades does it have?
Ah.
Is the kitchen upgraded from the original condition when it was built?
Yeah.
Bathrooms? Is the flooring? Something, is the outside re-stuccoed? Is there a new roof on it? Is your land, do you have some extra features on the land? Do you have a swimming pool? Do you have a spa? Do you have a balcony?
Yes.
That kind of thing. So you're basically doing the property characteristics.
Okay.
If it's functional, if you don't have, you have like 4 bedrooms on the second floor, and all the bathrooms are upstairs, but there's no bathrooms downstairs.
Yeah.
And if you need to go to the bathroom downstairs, you got to run up to the second floor. I mean, it's not a deal killer as far as value.
Oh, that's just sounds
But
annoying.
part of the thing is functionality of a property.
Yeah.
Or you have a 5-bedroom, one bathroom house kind of thing,
That's kinda
which
weird.
I've seen.
Really?
And basically, you take points off of that because functionally, it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it'd be considered
Kind of thing.
undesirable, right?
Yes. So when you're previous to your inspection, what you're doing is doing as much research as you can about the property you're going to appraise.
Yes.
So you look on tax records, which will give you the gross living area, bedroom, bathroom counts, the size of their lot. It won't tell you their view, or it won't tell you that kind of thing. But what you can do, and what most appraisers do, they'll look on the MLS, the multiple listing service, to see if there's any of old listings on the property. And there might be old pictures of the view.
Yeah.
What there is.
Okay.
So then you can say, okay, does have a view, and that can basically, then you can go and get your comparable properties.
Okay.
With you can narrow it down because hey, I'm looking for more of a view.
Yeah.
Because I know that one has one.
Yes.
So what basically the appraisal process is, what appraiser's supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go back nowadays 3 months back from the date of the appraisal.
Okay.
Within a mile of the property radius, then look for like 3 to 5 sales of comparable properties, and even nowadays listings, active and pending listings, which lenders are looking for now, seeing what the market is at that moment, people listing is, and then going through all the MLS listings, what an agent would write down on their thing. Upgraded, has a view.
All the notes.
So you're basically saying, hey, the real estate agent is not going to lie on these things. So if he says there's a view, there's going to be a view.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at comparable property in the same block as the appraisal I'm doing. And if you're lucky and you're in a subdivision, it's a cookie cutter. It's the same house. And I've done appraisals where they're in gated communities, and if it's a 2,164 square feet house, 4-bedroom, 3.5 baths, within that gated community, there was 3 sales, the same property, within 3 months. I'm set.
Yeah, because it's already done.
There's the value right there. Minus the upgrades, minus what might have a different view. Easy. But you're not that lucky sometimes. So you got to go around searching.
Got it.
If it have how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms? Does it have a view? Is it upgraded? Is it within the mile radius? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that is done by looking at the pictures in the MLS and looking at the verbiage that the agent is saying about the property.
Wow. Okay.
And you look on tax records because another thing that's a little difficult to consider when you have to be really attention to detail.
Yes.
Sometimes a house will have non-permitted things in the house.
Really?
Additions,
bedrooms,
bathrooms that they're not on the tax records. 95% of the time, if you go to a house and it says 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, and you see that, you take pictures of it. And It's 2,300 feet. The tax records has 3-bedroom, 2.5 baths, 1,800 square feet. And you ask the owner, say, hey, did you add anything to this house? He goes, no, it was like this when I bought it. Happens a lot. The appraiser's first premonition is non-permitted, because if it was permitted, they would adjust the tax records so the county would get more tax on the square footage.
I saw this lady.
But sometimes
I saw this lady.
the assessor forgets about it and doesn't even, it's just a computer error.
Yes.
Then a good appraiser would call the county and say, I got this property here. It has this amount.
Oh, so we got something in common.
Has this been improved over the last 20 years and somebody afraid to adjust it?
Yeah.
Which is a tedious process, because sometimes you can't get it into the county for 3 days.
Yeah,
Sometimes you have to wait if it's important. And that's where you get, you're different. Oh yeah, it's non-permitted. And that's another thing that you have to know what you're doing, because you can't count non-permitted additions in square feet in your appraisal.
Okay, wow.
Basically, in a refinance, it's very important, because less gross living area, less bedroom bath, house is going to be worth less.
Okay, wow.
And then the homeowner's going to go, oh why? And you got to explain to them that's why it's non-permitted. Now, when you explain to them, well, if you sold the house, no one's going to care, because they got 4 bedrooms. They don't care if it was added on, non-permitted. And actually, they'd be even happier, because they're only paying tax on the 1,800 square feet, and they have 23.
Oh, wow.
So everyone's going to go, shh. No, I won't tell anybody, kind of thing.
Got it. So you would actually get, in essence, you would get taxed less just because of the lesser square footage, even though there's another unpermitted addition to the house that's not being accounted for.
And then again, it's intricacies upon those issues. Like if you did a non-conventional type loan, like a FHA loan, FHA loans, which are guaranteed by the government, have higher standards.
Okay.
As far as repairs and everything else.
Yes.
And you have to do a different inspection, because you have to actually look around for peeling paint and everything. As a real estate appraiser, in a regular refinance, as you were talking about a roof being old versus new, appraiser can only see what they see. If it's 30 years old and looks good, they'll appraise it as a nice roof. It's a good roof. There's no grid thing for roof to adjust. If you see a hole in the roof, then you can go, whoa, there's a hole in the roof.
Okay.
And then what you can do on an appraisal is say, the value of this house is $500,000. It's not as is. It's basically, it's subject to the roof being fixed. And then the lender would basically say, hey, I can't give you a loan and give you that value till you fix the roof, because the appraiser said so. But an FHA, everything, peeling paint, stucco peeling.
Wow.
If you're walking in the backyard and there's a cracked slab, you got to put that down. You can't get a loan. Kind of thing. But the good thing about the antithesis of that for an FHA loan on the situation I was giving you about square footage and non-permits. FHA, in some circumstances, if the lender wants to, will count the non-permitted addition.
Really?
So you can count it. So again, you got to know what you're doing, and you got to know the rules. You got to take your continuing education courses to be up on it. So that's an example of knowing what you're doing.
Wow.
So, but again, going back to it, so what you're doing, that's how you get your comps. You're trying to get the best comps within the shortest sale time, within a mile radius.
Okay.
Sometimes you're in a rural area where everything is spread out. Appraisal rules say I can't go a mile, I got to go 2 miles out to get something.
Okay.
As long as you're writing it in your report that, hey, I'm going past the mile radius because it's rural out here. And I'm noting this in my appraisal report that within 2 miles it's basically the same area anyway. It's just that there's more land. between houses.
Got it.
So you can kind of bend the rules a little bit. You can go back. Hey, there were no real good sales within 3 months. I had to go back 6 months to get sales.
Okay. Really quick, before we continue on with that, in layman terms, what exact, just for people who don't really know what comps are, what are comps?
Comps are
comps and comparables. What are they?
Similar properties to the subject property.
Okay.
In square footage, in bedroom, bathroom count, size of the lot,
Yes.
view, upgrades, upgrades to bathroom, bedrooms, flooring, and just certain intricacies. Some appraisers, and I didn't really go too deep into it, is if it's a 1-story or 2-story home.
Yes.
Comps, if it's in a subdivision, you might want to get all your comps try to get in the same subdivision, or within another subdivision because it has HOA fees. So you're trying to whittle down the similar comparable. Comps means comparable sales or comparable listings.
Okay.
And a great appraiser will take time and get the best possible comps that are closest. They're closest in all line items.
Yeah, all the aspects.
And then after you get your comps, the appraisal process is done after your inspection is where you're taking it and adjusting. That's a better view, that has better upgrades, that's a little bigger, has one less bedroom.
Yeah.
And then you adjust the grid numerically and get to a bottom value of all the. And then it's the appraiser's reconciliation of all the comps to say, hey, I think there's less adjustments between comps 1 and 3. I think it should be closer to that. And that takes practice and a lot of work to basically for an appraiser to kind of eye where the value is between those comps. Again, that's where it's why it's an opinion. For somebody, if we're doing the same house.
Yes.
I might see, hey, I see a little ocean view out there. It's another thing to say, that's too far. I'm not even going to count that. So I might give it a little adjustment for like a long ocean view. Another appraiser might say, that's not important. I really can't count that. So the value might be a little off. Kind of thing. It'll be close. A good appraiser, but that'll be a little bit less of an adjustment. But that's where it's total a subjective opinion of value.
Yeah, again, falls into opinion of value. That's your opinion of value as opposed to my opinion of
You would want everybody's opinion of value to be objective, where everybody has the same rules. But everyone's different. Because there's no appraisal school where it tells you exactly what a view is valued.
Yeah.
How much you should value a granite counter versus a quartz counter. A solid wood cabinet, really high end, versus a kind of a nice new cabinet, but it's not as nice.
Yeah, or tile and wood flooring, right?
Or engineered wood versus real wood. Because now they have that beautiful fake wood, it costs you less, and then you can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
But an appraiser has to know.
Wow.
Because again, going back to the situation where it's in a subdivision, it's the same house. If I saw a house with engineered wood versus a real wood floor, I'd give a little adjustment down.
Yeah.
Because my subject has engineered wood and the comp has real wood. I might take a couple of grand off the bottom line of that comp's value toward my value.
Yeah.
So again, I was an intricate appraiser. I went that detail. Another appraiser will say, hey, nice floor, even.
It's a done deal.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. It's an interesting profession.
So in other words, comps are kind of like relativity points, right?
Relativity. No.
I just want to hold him back.
If 2 or 3 appraisers are doing the same house, you should get the same comps. If you should, if it's black and white, it should, or at least 90%, maybe one comp is different.
Yeah.
Because you might see something different when you're reading or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you see, I've seen it when I've reviewed appraisals.
Yeah.
Where I saw an appraisal with four different comp sales in the other one. Then you go, what's going on there?
Did you miss something?
But I'll tell you the truth. Again, between me and you, I've seen it. That's why there's a whole other question on how appraisers get their licenses, what they're looking for. That's another story, another interview.
Got it. So, in your experience, how does the opinion of value actually differ between, homeowners, real estate agents on the retail side, appraisers, and real estate contractors and rehabbers? How do they all differ? The key differences.
Okay, as you said before, homeowners don't think his house is a castle. Their house
Yeah,
is a castle.
typically they think that it's the best thing ever.
Best thing ever. But and what
Yeah.
what normally I've gotten in my years of appraisal, come to the house and go, oh, my neighbor's house sold down there. It sold for $600,000.
You do see
So mine
that
is
less.
$600,000.
Yeah, you see that.
Not
lot.
knowing that theirs is double the size.
Yes.
They have an ocean view, you don't, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then so I get that. And then another thing is people will go on Zillow.
Oh yeah, that's
And
popular.
those kind of
over here.
things, Redfin and those kind of valuation
Trulia
vehicles.
also.
They have comps. They look at comps in the area. Same
Yeah.
thing as an appraiser does, but they didn't inspect the house.
Yeah,
don't
I think
notice
it's
the view?
a computerized algorithm.
They don't know. Yeah, they don't know there's upgrades. They don't
Yes.
know what's going on there.
Uh-huh.
So if you take all that, it could be a difference in $100,000. If you have a
Wow.
great view or better upgrades.
Yeah.
Or, which is another thing important, and a lot of appraisers don't do,
Mm-hmm.
is knowing how to value a lot.
Really?
Yes. Let's say your neighbor has a 12,000 square foot lot,
Okay.
and I have a
That's
12,000 square foot lot where the house lies.
Uh-huh.
You know, you have a backyard,
Yeah.
things like that. My lot is flat.
Okay.
Their lot, they have about 3,000 square foot is flat, and that's where the house lies. They have a little walkway around it. But their backyard slopes down into a canyon.
Oh, okay.
So basically 3,000 of their 12,000 is usable. You can't use a 45-degree slope. You can't build
No.
on it, you can't use it.
Yeah.
But my lot's 12,000 square feet.
Yeah.
9,000 square feet of mine is more valuable than theirs. Because I can build on mine. Build a pool, build another house.
That makes sense. Yes.
So you can't see, Zillow can't see that. And a lot of appraisers can't see because a lot of appraisers won't even look at the slope. They'll go, oh, 12 and 12, same thing. I've seen it.
Boy.
I've seen it. So that's why Zillow is very imperfect.
Okay.
They may get it right if there's nothing, if it's like a quick cookie cutter house, it may be what your thing is worth within a percent to 5%.
Yeah.
It may be off 50%.
But it goes back to what you were saying, attention to detail.
Yes. And Zillow they do their thing. It's computerized algorithm, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
very
You can tell.
general.
But hey, my house is worth it because Zillow told me. No. It may be less, but it may be more. It may be more.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
What was your next? You had a few different
Yeah, I was
vehicles
we were
evaluations.
looking at homeowners, and then we looked at real estate agents
Oh, real estate agents
Uh-huh.
should be doing the same thing as an appraiser.
as an appraiser. Yeah.
Or they should know how to how to do a house and do the same things an appraiser does.
Uh-huh.
Or they should have somebody in their real estate office
Yeah.
who has a specialty in doing valuations and listings.
Uh huh.
Or hire a real estate appraiser to give them, hey, where should I list this appraiser?
Yeah.
And appraisers can do that. It's not a loan. They can say, hey, I think you should list this for 565. Or
Yeah.
do a range between 565 and 585. And they'll basically in 15 minutes they'll look at comps and kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
Not do a full appraisal on it. But tell you where it may be. And that's how a real estate agent should know.
That's what they should.
But again, a lot of agents, again, I'm not saying who they are, but I know some, will say, hey, it's a hot market. I'm going to list
Yeah.
it at 600,000. It may be worth 565. We'll see what we get.
know. Oh boy.
But now, what gets you in trouble there? Okay, I'll tell you. A lot of the real estate agents won't tell their client how they get their valuation. Hey, your house is worth 600,000.
Uh huh.
The buyer comes in and says, oh, how much is the house? 600,000. But let's say the real estate agent lists it $50,000 more than it'll appraise for in the ballpark.
Yeah.
What happens when someone buys the house and gets an appraisal on it? It'll be 550.
Yeah.
What happens when you just signed a contract under it and the appraisal is 550?
Uh
And what a good agent should have done, even if they were
Yeah.
a little diabolical, they should have said look, I'm listing this high.
oh. Uh huh.
It'll probably appraise for less. Either you can come down to the appraised value,
Yeah.
or if it's a hot market and there's a lot of offers, you can tell your buyer, hey, look, somebody's gonna come in and pay. You can only lend on the 550, get a
Yeah.
loan. Somebody will give me cash to make up the difference.
Ah.
As long as the parties know what's going on and both agents, you can get away with it. But some agents don't do that. Thing comes in at 550 and they go, holy shit, what do we do now?
Yeah, they don't preface it.
So
yeah.
basically, the agent, if they're good, will go through the process as an appraiser and list the property where it should be, what it'll appraise for. Then everything's fine.
Oh, okay.
But then some go too high. You can go low if you want to sell it fast, then great. Everything will appraise
someone
for,
gets their
appraise
money,
for way
they
over
make their
and
commission.
nobody
Everyone makes their money.
Right. So again, a very good agent,
Yeah.
if they're independent or an agent with a great company, will have a procedure on how to do listings, how to do them precisely.
Ah.
But again, depending on the market, some kind of differ.
Yeah. Got it. But in general, their opinion of value is going to be on the higher side, right?
Shouldn't.
It shouldn't. But it should be where the appraiser
Yes.
is.
Well, they'll see where other people list their property and say everyone's listing them at 600.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean what the lender's going to loan on. They loan on the appraisal. They don't loan for a penny more. So somebody who's buying a $600,000 house comes in with a $550 appraisal.
It's going to get a 550 loan.
He's going to get a $550 loan. It's either, hey, I'm going to maybe this contingency saying, well, the price will be what the appraiser says.
Yeah.
Sometimes not. Sometimes the contingency will be we'll get the appraisal and we'll give us your next best offer. But you'll have to come in with more cash. But you ain't going to get a loan for more.
Got it.
So it's again, I won't comment on the competence of agents doing their thing, but most of them know what they're doing.
Perfect. That's good. That's good. As far as opinion of value with real estate contractors and rehabbers, do you have? What do you think about that?
It depends what they're doing it for. A contractor coming in who buys a distressed property, wants to flip it, sell it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Their opinion of value on what they're buying is basically, hey, you have a piece of bad property here.
Yeah.
I want to, I will give you a lot of those contractors either have lenders who will give them a loan on the spot because they qualify and they do this as their business.
Yeah.
Or they'll just go pay cash. Because they know they can pay cash, put some money in, flip it, and make some money.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Because they know the comps in the area and they know what they can sell it for.
Yeah.
Okay. But most of the time, because they're getting the property for less because it's a distressed sale.
Yes.
And they want to flip it in a certain amount of time because they have another property they want to get to and flip
they
that
gotta
money
move that
and
fast.
multiple things.
Yeah.
They will take less.
Yeah.
So they might list the property lower than its value, or list it at what they think it's appraised for after it's redone, and take less because they're going to make. They know where their profit margin is.
Yeah. So they have a range to play around with.
Yes.
Got it.
So their opinion of value would be hopefully get what the appraiser's for, but that'll be the best of the world. But knowing that, hey, we'll make what we need to make at this price, and we'll take less.
Got it.
So they can list it. They think it'll appraise for and move down and just take offers.
Yeah.
We'll list it right where it should be. Someone comes in and says, "I'll give you that," and boom, things done.
Yeah, but they already have.
They know what they
know
what they need to make
Yeah.
a profit on, what they put into it, and what they pay for it.
Got it.
So their valuation might be more of a range, but their bottom line will be how much they need to make
In order
to make their
it work.
investment work for their business.
Got it.
So pie in the sky would be fantastic for them. It would be a bonus. And in hot markets, sometimes pie in the sky.
Sometimes, wow.
Flippers of properties do the best in hot markets when someone's going to say, I'll pay you $50,000 more.
Okay. Really cool. Okay. So as far as advice, anyone who's looking to become an appraiser or be in the real estate industry, what's the best piece of advice that you could give them?
Speaking of right this minute,
Sure.
Don't be an appraiser.
Why is that?
In the last year, since 2008, since the bubble,
Yeah.
since the Recovery Act of 2008, when the Fed brought all their interest rates down to zero, mortgage rates were in the threes, sometimes in the low, even the highest it went to was the low fours. People were refining again the same property. Appraisers were busy making money hand over fist. People had adjustable loans. Hey, 3%, sign me in.
Yeah.
Boom market, doing well. that kind of thing. What's happened as of today, the Fed has, because of the economy and what the perception of the Fed, they have raised interest rates for the past 2 years, quarter of a point every quarter. The mortgage business came to a basic halt.
Wow.
And I know this for sure because yesterday, I talked to some of these mortgage lenders that I've done work for years, keep in touch with, and I called one of these mortgage lenders.
Oh yeah?
He's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
I said, hey, what's going on? He says, our business died.
Uh-oh.
I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I had an office in Mission Valley. I'm at the end of my lease in August. I'm not renewing my lease.
Wow.
My head processor, who was working 5 days a week in there, now works 2 days a week from the office and just goes home the rest. Doesn't have to drive to work. My assistant processor got another job a month ago. The assistant to both of them, I laid off in June.
Yeah. Wow.
My junior loan originator that I was tutoring had to let go. Business is slow now. People at a basic 5% interest rate, people who are going to refi now are people who have adjustables in the 7% loan and need to do something. But the market of that is very, very low. The other market that could be hot is people taking in debt. People with credit card debt, student loan debt, and are paying these astronomical values.
Yeah.
A 5% home loan, refinance loan, would be fantastic for them because they can take everything and even write it off in their taxes.
Yeah.
But that is like 1/20th of what a regular mortgage market should be.
Oh man.
There's less opportunity of appraisers, even to get hooked up with an appraiser. Because appraisers have so little work. Who's going to take on an assistant and want to pay them a little bit?
They're not going to want one.
No.
Yeah, wow.
So that's my realistic answer to right this minute. If you want to be an appraiser. Now, that's to say, hey, I want to be an appraiser anyway. I'll get in. I don't care. I don't need to work full time as an appraiser. I like doing it, and this might be the time because there's going to be another market someday.
Yes.
That's going to be booming again.
Yeah.
And maybe by that time there'll be no appraisers in the business.
But you'd be the.
Because there's a lot of older appraisers who might be retiring, and less people going into it. So hey. I want to take the courses. I want to do. I have a degree, and I pass all the tests as far as being able to get a license.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is if you do get your license, you pass your test, and you get your trainer's license, hooking up with somebody. That might be real. I had my troubles. It's easier now because you can send emails.
Oh yeah.
You can send group emails and say, hey, I'll work for free. I have a job.
Yeah.
Would you train me, and I'll help you out. An appraiser might say, hey, somebody to enter data will make my job easier. Even though I'm not as busy as I used to be, I can still be less busy and do more things, even with the work I got. It might take you on.
Yeah.
So it might take longer to get somebody to hook on to somebody, but somebody who's planning for the future, maybe you want a part-time job and keep their full-time job, I would say take the test, get your license, try to hook on with somebody. Just like normal. And it won't matter if you don't hook on with somebody for 6 months because you have a job.
There you go.
It depends on your situation in life. But if you need an appraisal job to make ends meet, it's your first job coming out of the thing, just being my subjective thing is like, wait. Maybe do something else right now and come back to this later because it'll be tough.
Yeah, just because, again, the market's on the slower side.
Yes.
Got it.
And it might get even slower because who knows where mortgage rates will be in a year.
That's very true.
Might be higher. It's not going to get lower. unless hopefully what won't happen, what happened in 2008. The stock market goes down 20,000 points in one day.
That's scary.
But, there are indications out there that people say that might happen too.
Yeah.
That's why it's just tricky times for a lot of different reasons. And it's a sad time because all these people in the mortgage business who did well for years hopefully save some money, and when it gets slow, they say, I'm still okay. Because the mortgage business the mortgage business is tough now because a lot of people are getting laid off and going to different things because they can't make a living.
Yeah.
So it's interesting times.
But you got to stay vigilant.
And you got to stay optimistic. And if it's something you want to do, take the test and do it. I will never tell people not to do something.
Yeah.
But it depends on their own situation.
Yeah.
You got to pay rent or feed your family, and this is going to be your only job. Try at a job right now.
Yeah.
It may take you a while to make money.
Got it.
Yes.
Wow. Well, there you go. There you have it, guys.
But again, let me reiterate the other scenario.
Yeah.
If you're willing, if you say, you know what, I can get by on what I'm doing now,
Yeah.
but I really want to be an appraiser. I want to take the chance of being the last man standing,
Yeah.
the last woman standing when the market comes back, then maybe I can get all the work and I'll be rich. Again, subjective where you are in your life.
Yeah. Got it. So
if you ask me what I would do if I was in a
Uh-huh.
situation, I'd get my license and go for it because that's the kind of person I am. But again, different people,
Different people,
different
different
paths.
priorities.
Yes.
Got it. Bonus question. So, what do you like to do in your free time, Marty, and why is this particularly important to you?
Well, the first thing I like to do in my free time is make sure my family is doing well. Which is not really free time, but I think about it more in my free time.
Yeah.
Basically, again, what I mentioned before that I got up in the morning and worked out. I still do
yeah.
that. I work out
Really?
an hour and a half a day.
Woo!
And sometimes I do most of the time I do 2 workouts a day. I do some
Wow.
cardio in the morning and I have a weight thing in my house and I do that. And I have more time in my life now, but that's why I do that. So I'm really into this since I was in the fitness business for so long.
Very cool.
I walk the walk and I talk the talk of the fitness business still. And I read a lot.
Yeah.
I read a book a week. I'm a speed reader.
Wow.
And when I do my spinning bike, I have a Kindle and I read incessantly on there. And I read if I'm picking up my grandkid Mesa High School, I'll get there a little early and sit in the car and read. I do that a lot. But basically, as far as working out,
Yeah.
reading is basically family, making sure everyone's okay, make sure
Yeah.
everyone's going. I would like to travel more. I've had more time in my life as I'm getting older, but my wife got her degree, nursing degree from San Diego State when she was 54 years old.
Oh.
I made her go back to school. She always wanted to be a nurse, and I said, "Don't work, just go to school." But
Right
now
on.
I tell her, "Hey, I can slow down now. I can travel. We have I make good money, and we can do this and this." She goes, "No, I have a new career."
Ah.
That's another contemplation in my life now. It's really interesting because I'm ready to do it. My father died when I was 13 and a half, and I've been working ever since.
Wow.
I can count on my hand how many vacations I've had in 51 years.
Oh yeah, you're due for one.
I'm due for years of vacation.
There you go.
But now I'm contemplating this thing with my wife. Says, "Oh, she's working hard and she's stressed out." I go, "You don't have to work that much, or get a part-time nursing job. Get a home health nurse. You can work 1 week and take a week off." So that's when I'm spending a lot of my time trying to convince her what the end of life should be for us after working
Oh
hard,
my goodness.
raising 2 kids and having 7 grandkids. It's our time.
Wow.
So I do that a lot, trying to convince her about changing life and trying to figure out, what my next phase of life is converging into Medicare next year,
Yeah.
Social Security, but like people like you, inspiring young people and my story, inspiring my kids to keep being good parents, inspiring my grandkids to basically, get off the iPad, to get off social media,
and experience
and
life
think
in front
for
of them,
yourself
yeah.
and kind of what really counts in life.
Yeah.
So that takes up a lot of my time in trying to put myself into life, even though my wife says, "Don't listen to your friends." He has a warped sense of humor from New York, and his opinions are warped. Listen to me. So I get that a lot, but I try my best.
Got it. Hey, the way I see it, with age comes experience, typically.
Family dynamic is very interesting in my family.
Got it. Got it.
Yes, I've not been allowed to interject a lot of my opinions and rules in life because my wife is from California. Her parents were pure Japanese, and they were in Japanese internment camps.
Okay, wow.
So they have different opinions on how to raise kids and how to do things.
Yeah, definitely.
And
There's cultural differences.
My wife, since basically the credo "happy wife, happy life" has been one of my real credos.
Oh, I've heard of that
Trying
one,
to keep her happy. A lot of times when she says, "Don't tell them something," or "Don't tell the grandkids that," well, do it my way. I just let her do it. But again, I try to interject my opinion once in a while. So
see.
you talk about that's what I do in my spare time. Those things: work out, read,
And family.
and try to stay relevant in everyone's life. Yes.
Hey, that's great. That's great. Sounds like a good time.
Yes, it is.
Well, that is everything on my end. Do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to tell our listeners?
This is a great experience.
Uh-huh.
As you know, I love talking, and I hope I gave you all that you needed and some more.
Hey, you and I
interview.
both.
Yes. And I'd love to do it again. Anything you need, I'll be here for you.
Hey, thanks so much. And I'm sure that we definitely have some people with some questions. And if anything, they can always get back to us, and we'll see what we can do as far as getting back to them too.
I will answer questions. Anybody have a lot, there must be some stuff I left out. There has to be.
Well, it's a whole field. There's a whole world of questions.
When you're 64 years old, there's a lot to leave out too.
No, that's definitely true. Well, that is everything. But again, we may have some links over in the description below. So if you do have any comments or questions, you could always feel free to ask us about it. But other than that, that is our show. Again, this is Gabe with Casual Coffee Talks, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you so much, Marty.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.